public service announcement. I need all my Titan fans to come on down. Grab you some popcorn, grab you a drink. Titan Coliseum in the building. Yeah, not, boy, I'm in the game. Still ballin' out, never change. I be reppin' my hometown for the whole city, really knew my name. Boss talk, I don't do favors. Yeah, we signing deals with the top players. We just started this lifestyle. We be having all kind of haters. I'm a madman, they better come get me. Wanna box me in, but I'm too shifty. If they come at me sideways, I'ma stiff on me like Derrick Henry. Now listen, we're not the same. EA Sports, boy, I'm in the game. I be reppin' my city, dog. Got a Titan logo hanging on the chain. Big money, big moves. New stadium on the way. Nashville, we hold it down. We the one team that you don't wanna play. They be trying to talk down on us. I just laugh at them and I walk away. I don't tolerate disrespect. Might shoot a fade, penny hard away. Big money, big moves. New stadium on the way. Nashville, we hold it down. We the one team that you don't wanna play. We be putting in the hard work, so we coming in with all kind of skill. I be living in the end zone. My finger roll like Tannehill. What's poppin'?
Yes, sir. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Titan Coliseum podcast, man. I'm your host, Marako. I'm in the building with Firestone and RJ. Fellas, what's popping?
What's popping, man? Good to be here, man. I'm gonna enjoy this day, man, because you know it's New Year's, man. Always good to have a good time, man, and be on this show with everybody else. My two favorite co-hosts, how you go.
Yes, sir, man. Happy New Year's to everybody and to y'all too as well. Hope everybody was safe, made it home safe, had a good time, and we're starting this new year off properly. Man, and thank y'all to everybody that tuned in last show. Y'all, all of y'all can collectively on all the platforms got us over 2,500 views on the last episode. So truly thank y'all for that. We appreciate that. But man, I love how like the first Twitter comment that came in the comment section was "Fire Mike Vrabel." That's how we start the 2024 year off. In the comment section.
But see, Firestone, bro, we waiting on you to come over to the side, bro. That's what it is, bro. You just don't. I don't know how you don't see the light, bro. Like I don't know how many more butt whoopers we got to keep taking before you see that he ain't it, man.
Because I know what the talent is, and I'm not wrong. Like if the talent was better, I'd be with y'all. But I just think this talent situation is once Rand gets here and starts putting some more talented pieces around him, then I don't have anything that's like maybe this is. It was like us trying to evaluate the QB with a horrible O line. It's hard to see what really an offense and an QB could do. But if he does this shit next year, bro, he got to go. He has to go. I'm with you 100%. That's the change, and I'm hoping it's players. But if it's not the players, then it's absolutely Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a lot to be said about this roster, and like Firestone said, man. Right now he's not on the fire Mike Vrabel train, but come next year, and we still had the same problem. He most definitely got to go because, see, here goes the thing right here, man. I mean, the J-Rob excuse, I honestly think people sound crazy using that J-Rob excuse to this day because J-Rob is fine. But at the same time, you can't look over all the messes that J-Rob has made. I mean, they're clearly all over the roster. Well, 2024, we start with 74 million in cap space or whatnot, and we look like we're going to have like the 5th or 6th overall pick maybe in the draft. So I mean, we're gonna have resources, and they're gonna start weeding these J-Rob messes up out of here. And like I said, if we had the same problem, you're not gonna get to use that J-Rob excuse anymore. It's gonna be all Vrabel's, baby. I mean, they said they was collaborating, but I'm starting not to really believe the collaboration thing for the simple fact that it's been multiple reports coming out that some of these dudes Vrabel handpicked, like Andre Dillard, like he really believed in Andre Dillard.
Yeah, I mean, but there's gonna. Go ahead.
Hold on. Hold that thought. We got 70 people in the chat right now, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment, man. We are thoroughly enjoying everybody's here to hear our Titan opinions, man. So go ahead, Fry.
Yeah, no, it is because like we haven't really got to see the Rand and Vrabel like collaboration yet. We haven't. Like this last offseason was not fair enough. Like it's a new GM coming in. First off, you're trying to get your office, and everybody thought taught on what you want to do and how you want the changes to be made, right? So you're trying to get everybody caught up on that. Then you're trying to see what Vrabel wants. Then you're trying to see what the roster actually. So that first year wasn't really. It was really evaluation and tough to do. Not mention we didn't have no draft capital. We didn't have no cap space. So what could Rand really truly do that was going to make an impact on this? What J-Rob left us that was really going to change in 1 year, at least that year, for Rand to see like, okay, this really has Rand's thumbprint on it. We start to see Rand's changes happening and what Rand wants to do, and some of the players he picked this last year came in and every single one of them contributed and helped. And that is beautiful. So that's good looking forward. But like you said, this next year coming up, we got cap space, we got draft capital. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to put a team around and no longer have the J-Rob excuse. And now we should have nothing but Mike Vrabel and Rand Carthon's thumbprints on this in 2024 moving forward.
I'll say this though.
Go ahead, RJ.
I'll say this though. Look, I one thing me and Frost don't make kind of button heads on this subject, but I do agree with him that this season you can't use this as an excuse to fire him, because any coach is going to lose with this roster, in my opinion. The offensive line is absolutely garbage. The problem that, like I said, the reason I don't believe even once we do get this roster without a Derrick Henry that's elite, I just don't think he's going to keep winning. You know what I'm saying? I hate that we're going to have to watch this man fail again next year for us to fire him when we could just fire him right now, But right now we don't have a legitimate excuse to fire him. Like right now, is he can use the J-Rob, mess over and over again until it isn't an excuse anymore. Basically what you guys have been saying this whole time. And I just feel like, we'll see what he does next year, man. Because if he come out next year and we somehow make it to the playoffs, he's shutting me and Marako up. You feel me? He made it to the playoffs next year, he's shutting me and Marako up. But
he got to.
Yeah, if he, comes in next season and we're 6 wins, I'm sorry, he has to go, man. Like, we're not going to win. I feel like his lease is only this next season. He's going to be on his hot seat, man. Coming in the off season, he's going to be on a hot seat, man. He's going to have to be his best coaching job, in my opinion.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed, bro. Because he's going to be playing he's only at a 2-year extension now. This next year coming up, Rand is here. Rand's supposed to be making a change. You're going to be on a short lease because, okay, yeah, these last 2 years was atrocious. But some of these, like you said, excuses do sound like excuses, but we won't know if they're actually excuses or if they're valid questions to be had at this moment until we actually get pieces around him to solve those questions. Then we're going to know, okay, those was valid questions, or no, those are just excuses for Vrabel. We need to get them out. But I think 2024 is going to be that year, and it's going to be a year that he's going to have to be on a very short leash for me, because I'm going to be critiquing, I'm going to be looking, I'm going to be nitpicking this upcoming season.
I'll say this right here. A part of me does think that, with a better roster, Vrabel can produce better results, but also at the same time, man, I mean, we can't keep on banking on bringing in free agents, because that's not the way you build a team. You build the team through the draft. And I know a lot of people are sour on John Robinson for some of the foolishness that he done while he was the Titans GM. But John Robinson came into this thing hot, man. He came into this thing drafting good. He came into this thing signing solid free agents. And with Vrabel having more say-so over the roster, I mean, that's the part of it that I don't trust with Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is not an NFL scout. He's not a talent evaluator. Just because the man played football and won Super Bowls don't mean that he can evaluate talent. And that's why I feel like a lot of people, he need to fall back from the scouting and evaluating. I mean, sure. I mean, collaborate with the GM. Tell the GM, what kind of traits and type of player you looking for, what not. But actually, Mike Vrabel sitting up over there hand-picking players. No, don't do that. Fall back. Worry about hiring good coaches.
I look at it like this, and I'll say this. The first run that we had, to try to get to the Super Bowl, man, I'll say this one. We only had one team that we had to worry about in the division. I mean, at the beginning, we only really had the Texans, and it was towards the end of the Deshaun Watson to go to the Colts, who was wanting to be on the roster. Now we got all three of the teams that we got to worry about now because the Texans look like they have their franchise quarterback. We'll see what AR looks like, but he's showing a lot of talent, a lot of promise. Jacksonville is going to be good, at least be good. You know what I'm saying? And they may not be the team to beat, but they're going to be good, moving forward. So it's going to be very hard, man, to get it back to this top of this AFC South now, man. But I do think we can get there, but it's just going to be very difficult, especially with the way the Texans look like. That's the team that I'm worried about the most is the Houston Texans because they got the draft picks, they got the cap room, and they have the best quarterback in this division, in my opinion. So I'm more worried about them trying to win a Super Bowl in this division than I am in the other three. The other two, excuse me.
Bro, what I took away Sunday was like, we don't have a lot of dogs on this field. We don't have we need more guys like Will Levis, not necessarily like the skill type of this, that, but when we've seen multiple times this year, when people mess up, Will Levis gets in their ass. When he gets a first down, he's there. He's in we don't really have that on both sides of the football. We need some more players like that. We need some more players that are coaches on the field that when somebody fucks up, they get in their ass right there on film, and the TV's going to have to cut away because they see that they saying some shit to their ass. Like, we need more people on the field that's holding people accountable. We don't have dogs. We don't have playmakers. We don't have game changers. We just don't have that. And especially in the division, like you said, that is getting so tough, that is going to have talent at QB, that's going to be able to torches, that we're going to have to get dogs there. It's like, hey, you can't slip because this motherfucker will take advantage of it. If you leave openings, they're going to find it. So play your best game and be on top of your shit. So I just need us to see go get more dogs. And I'm hoping that's what Rand's going to be able to do. And I saw somebody up asking there in the comments that if it's not Vrabel, then who needs to go? What coaches need to go? If I'm Vrabel at the end of this year, I sit down with Rand and say, hey, man, how can you help me get some better coaches in here? I've been trying. Maybe I ain't been able to scout them good enough. I ain't been able to sell them. What coaches do you know in your realm that you think can come in here and help us achieve what we're trying to do? And every coach's position is on the table. Everybody from OC, everybody is on the table. Who do you think can come in here and help us win games? Because this shit got to stop, and it got to stop now.
Yeah, and I agree with Derek right here. Vrabel has been living off of Malarkey's roster and has not developed any players. Also, he cost a trip to the Super Bowl by taking over play calling duties from Dean Pease in the AFC Championship game. Yeah, I mean, that right there has been well documented. Vrabel's a meddler. I mean, that's just what it is. And that's, another reason that I'm on the fire Vrabel train, because if you just look at the offense, ever since Mike Vrabel became the Titans head coach, just look at the offense from the time the season started till the end of the season, and you'll see a trend. You'll see that the offense got more and more conservative. Now, some of those seasons, like I said on here before, that needed to happen, especially with Ty Downing. But there's a situation with Vrabel where he does something and it works one time and he just keeps on going back to the well. And, I believe that Tim Kelly is a respectable offensive coordinator in this league. And I don't feel like Tim Kelly needs to be meddled with. But, Mike Vrabel, I mean, he's got to fall back from everything and literally just rely on his coaches. Find good coaches and you ain't got to worry about meddling.
But wouldn't that say, though, if he's meddling, maybe he hasn't hired the guy he's wanted and he's hiring the guys that he's stuck with? Because like we said, and I've said it several times, and it might be an issue. And if this is the issue moving next year, then it is going to be a fireable offense for Vrabel as well. But if you can't recruit other coaches to come in and help you, and they want to go elsewhere and coach, even at position coaches, like we said, J-Rob's job ain't just draft. It's, re-signing players and making good free agents. A coach's job ain't just, winning games and developing players. It's also bringing in coaches that's going to help develop players. So if you can't do that, and Rand can't help you do that with this next year coming up, that's going to be a situation. So, if he is meddling, don't you think that might be the question, that he truly hasn't found the guy that he wants to run the offense the way he wants it ran?
He's had the guy twice. And he ran
Art.
Not Art. I'm talking about defensively. He has had the guy twice. He had Dean Pease here. Dean Pease probably would have still been here had it not been for Vrabel meddling. And he also had Jim Schwartz, in which Jim Schwartz, all he wanted was a defensive coordinator position. I mean, he probably does want to become a head coach again, but at the same time, we're in a league where, teams are seeking offensive-minded head coaches. And had he decided to move on from Bowen, which I don't understand why the hell can't he move on from Bowen?
Got to.
If he could just move on from Bowen and get a guy up in here who, he can want to be a head coach all he wants to or whatever, but defensive head coaches, they tend to stick around, a longer time, probably about 3 seasons, maybe, depending on the team's success. But man, Vrabel's got to, make some changes to this coaching staff, man.
So
if he stays here.
I don't really have too much of a big problem with Shane Bowen. And crazy about it, I don't have too much of a problem with Tim Kelly. Yes, he's made some bad calls, but I just feel like, man, like we're not that good on the line of scrimmage, man, for me to really, because I know how much the Titans really rely on their line of scrimmage. And I just feel like some of these play calls are probably good. It's just, man, we just not executing them because our line is just so bad, bro. They like the shit getting blown up as soon as the play started, And Shane Bowen, I mean, it really ain't been the defense this year. You know what I'm saying? Like the defense has been playing fine. Like maybe the Colts game, outside of the 2 Colts games, that I really was just so upset at the defense. Like, bro, y'all got to get some stops. You know what I'm saying? Like, other than that, like, I really ain't had a problem with the defense, bro. Like, it's more so this offensive line that has pissed me off the most out of all this, because now we can't even be in a game with anybody because they're sacking us every other play, for us to even be in a game with them.
Bro, my biggest complaint on defense right now, well, obviously it's pass coverage, but we got to get better talent at that. But the biggest thing I keep seeing at the weakness is our D-line does not get pressure on the quarterback and don't penetrate as much as they should right now for the talent that is on that D-line, at bare minimum. For me, that's my issue I have with defense and Shane Bowen. You have Arden Key, Jeffrey Simmons, Harold Landry. We had Tierra Tart at one point in time, and Danico Autry, and you're not getting pressure on the QB consistently. That's an issue for me. Like, you should be figuring out some stunts and some schemes on the defensive end for the DBs not being an answer for that. I get that. But offensively, yeah, bro, how this O-line is so bad? Bro, I was sitting down with my 4-year-olds watching the game yesterday or Sunday, and they was get to the QB so quick. My son looked at me, he's like, dang, daddy, y'all don't even have time to throw. I'm like, I know. Like my 4-year-old can see it. That's how bad this is. So it's like, bro, we got to get some people that can at least let our QBs make it to at least planting their back foot in the ground to completing a drop back. We can't even finish a 5 to 3 step drop back in the pocket, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that O-line coach got to go, man. That O-line coach got to go, bro. He's got
gone.
He got to go. There's got to be some changes. After this Jacksonville game, we're going to see a lot of firing. And, we'll see. We're going to look and see this O-line coach is one of them. We need to go ahead, get Mike Malarkey on the phone to after this. As soon as Malarkey. Yeah, Mike Munchak. You know what I'm saying? Once we get Mike Munchak on the floor, on the phone, as soon as the Jaguar whoop our ass, bro, we need to go ahead and put him on the phone. Hey, man, come fix his offensive line. I believe in him. I mean, he's one of the greatest offensive linemen the Titans ever had. So, I say the Oilers, excuse me, the franchise ever had.
And I wouldn't expect the Titans to make fires quick either. Like, I really expect, like, we're going to lose, then Vrabel and them and Rand's going to have to sit down. But I expect this coaching tree and this coaching staff to get blown the fuck up this year. Like, a lot of people's going to have to go. A lot of people, trainers, position coaches, bro, they just going to have to go. We're going to have to bring in some people. And if Rand is smart, he'll try to talk Vrabel into bringing one of these guys that maybe if Vrabel don't work out next year, he already has this guy he wants to elevate over Vrabel if Vrabel don't work out. That's what Rand would do if he's smart too.
I want to speak on this comment right here. Fellas, what if you found out that Vrabel was involved with J-Rob and wanted some of those draft picks and free agent signings? Would you still keep him? We know Vrabel wasn't behind the A.J. Brown trade, Patricia.
Bro.
Well, let me say this. Go ahead.
bro. Yeah, Vrabel's behind all this, bro. Like, I mean, he's not the. I mean, obviously, J-Rob made the final decision, but Vrabel okayed on every single pick. He okayed on the AJ Brown trade, bro. Like, you think he's just doing shit without Vrabel's okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. It is J-Rob's fault. It is his mess. But at the same time, Vrabel okayed on it. He was letting them do it. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing that happened at Penn State. Sandusky was doing all that crazy stuff. They got rid of Joe Pa because he knew about it. You know what I'm saying? He knew about it. It's the same thing with me. You guilty as charged, bro.
And it's been said that Vrabel, and it's been said that Mike Vrabel and Art Smith, both of them liked Isaiah Wilson out of Georgia. So I mean, there goes your answer to that right there.
But we all make bad mistakes. Nobody's perfect on a draft board on those situations. But let's, I mean, come on now. Did Vrabel really sign off of it, or are we in a room? Because let's look at that situation in totality, right? Vrabel was clearly pissed when that situation happened. After the situation happened and everybody figured out the truth of the contract and negotiations and everything that was going on, only J-Rob got fired. If you think Vrabel was in on what J-Rob was doing and okay to sign up, don't you think J-Rob would have been gone with him? Because if honestly, if Amy don't want to stand for one position, she's going to make sure to make an example out of both if they both lied to her and did the wrong. So I just think that that situation, and plus Amy afterwards said Vrabel will have more say so in now, because I think she led to more to let John take that decision. Like, let's not forget too, we're a team of new people, bro. Amy's a new owner as a franchise for a franchise owner in the NFL team, so she's learning how to operate and hold people accountable from a business world to a team world, how to run a team. We had a new GM that was learning stuff. We had a head coach that's only been coaching for like 4 or 5 years. We're still a franchise that's new around some things, and that's not an excuse. That's just an understanding of the reality of how some people make business mistakes sometimes.
Yeah, man. Man, I'm gonna keep it funky, man. I mean, I wish that report was true. Well, that stuff that Mike Lombardi put out there earlier today, I so wish that was true. I wish that Mike Vrabel's contract was up at the end of this season, because I mean, shoot, man,
you just ready to start over.
I done had enough of it, man. Like I said earlier, man. I mean, I just look back to, you know, how everything played out from the beginning to the end of these seasons. And, you know, it all looks the same to me. And like Titans and Truth, Chris Newell, he always say, man, the common denominator is Mike Vrabel. Bowen is here still because of Mike Vrabel. The special team coach that just got fired, Craig Ackerman, he was here, 3, 4, 5 seasons too long because of Mike Vrabel. The assistant to the offensive line coach that he fired is here because of Mike Vrabel. You mean to tell me you can't go find a better offensive line coach? I mean, shit. You done been amongst all these football minds, and, you know, all these people praise him for being a great head coach, but yet you don't have the connections to go and get these guys. I mean, I'm just not buying it, bro. I think Vrabel is really on this thing of, I'm developing my coaches. I'm developing my guys. I'm not going to go out and get these established guys unless I necessarily got to. I'm going to develop my guys, man. And it's seriously hurting the team. I feel like Vrabel's ego is really tearing the Titans down right now.
But see, I think that's something Titans fans forget, though. We do put it all on Vrabel to hire these coaches, and he does have to sell it. He is the pitch, right? But Vrabel ain't the selling point to these coaches, okay? I think we've misconstrued that. The selling point is the talent on the team. How do you get coaches to come and coach this talent when they got a job to go coach a better talent that's going to make them look better? Every coach is going to get fired when you're looking at this mess. They're looking at this roster and they're like, I can coach, but man, this roster, then I can go to another roster and coach. And I'm with you on that. Like, the common denominator is Mike Vrabel. You know, we said that for a while too during those Mariota days. And how many coaches did we fire thinking they couldn't develop Mariota before we found out it was just the talent, Mariota, that was not good enough for the coaching, and we couldn't let go of the talent and be honest with ourselves about how bad the talent we had on the field was. And I just think that's like, bro, yes, Vrabel should be going out and getting new coaches, but the GM should be making it easier for the coach to go get coaches by putting talent on the team. And we don't have talent that makes coaches say, yeah, I want to go coach at Tennessee. That's damn sure where I want to go coach. We just don't have it.
No, I'm just getting a lot of Bill O'Brien vibes from Mike Vrabel, man. He wants way too much control, man, and for some reason he ain't taking no blame. I don't get how he not getting no blame. He want all this control, man. But
It's
at the same
always
time,
a personnel problem with him.
Personnel problem. It's been the players. It's the players. It's the player. Like, how many times have we heard that? How many years in a row has this offensive line been ass? How many years? This been what, 3 years in a row?
2
2 years in a row.
Yeah, but last year we had Lawan bad, and then Ben Jones concussions. But bro, that left tackle position hurt.
Brought back? Why was he? I could have told you he wasn't gonna make it through a whole season. I said, man, he's not gonna make it. Hey, I don't understand. He got hurt the second game. He kept getting hurt. I'm like, why do we keep bringing this guy back? You know, and I like Lawan, but he was clear as day not the same left tackle that he was with Mariota. You know what I'm saying? In those days.
Nah, man. I just think that situation right there with Lawan, when Mike Mularkey got around him, man, he said this back in the gap. He said that, you know, the best thing that Mike Mularkey done for him was take that Calton patch up off of him. And that right there, you know, lifted a ton up off his shoulders, because, you know, he didn't have to worry about that, you know, responsibility, or, you know, everything that comes behind having to see on your chest or whatever. And Vrabel, he pretty much, you know, came in with, you know, the O-line that Mike Mularkey and Russ Grimm had developed. Those guys, you know, already knew what it was. I mean, it wasn't too much more developing that you needed to do with these guys. And now we're in a situation to where, I mean, we not only did we screw up, you know, drafting offensive linemen to come to potentially become starters. I mean, you got a coaching issue as well, to where, you know, the coaches can't even coach these offensive linemen up or whatever, because I don't think they really just know what, you know, what it really takes to, you know, handle business on the O-line, man. I mean, I don't see with these offensive linemen we have now. I mean, I don't see any fight in these dudes. I don't see any kind of frustration in them. And I saw the pregame thing with Dylan Raiders yesterday, and shout out to Buck for that too, man, because that's where I saw it at. I saw it on his Twitter page, and, you know, it really pissed me off when that dude just said, you know, man, it isn't like we're trying. Like, bro, you're not getting paid all this money for going out here and trying. I mean, everybody's trying. I mean, what do you want from that? You want to cook it for going out there and trying? No, bro, you need to be out here producing, man. And he too is playing out of position. That's another one of my things with Mike Vrabel. I mean, we've been drafting these offensive linemen or whatever. Raiders was drafted. He was a left tackle coming out of college. What do? You stick them all over the damn place, everywhere but left tackle. Then you got Skoronsky out here, whatever. What was it? He was an all-pro in college or whatever. He won't even get his motherfucker shot on the left side, on the left at left tackle, man. And I honestly think that's coaching malpractice.
We haven't gotten one shot at left tackle. We've been a rotating door at left tackle. Every left tackle we throw out there getting their ass whooped. And you telling me we can't put Peter Skoronsky out there, who would literally play left tackle in college and got to the first round, one of the top offensive linemen in the draft? Yeah. You know, but hey, let's draft Joe Alt, because, I mean, goodness gracious, man, we need a left tackle, bro. Let's draft Olu. We need a left tackle badly.
But even with those guys, man, do you trust Mike Vrabel to put a guy in place to develop them?
Bro, yeah, man, we've had good teams. Like I know these past 2 years we've got hard on Vrabel, but let's not forget, like this was a team that was never really superstars, but we had some good players at one point. Good players, not star players, not great players, but we had good players at one point in time. And he led us to winning seasons, all of his seasons that we came. But before these last two, before we got AJ gone, before we let the whole O line dismantle right in front of our eyes, he was coaching good. We lost our best player on the team, still made it to the number 1 seed, coach of the year, with guys that was just stepping up, that had fight in them. They didn't have to be star players, but they was guys that had fight in them. Those are Vrabel guys that have fight and show up on the field and have a dog in them. And we had them in the 2019 and the 2020 days. We had a roster full of dogs. We had those Darren Bates. We had all those guys that showed up in the time of the moments that you needed in different ways other than just being the biggest guy on the team. Now we don't have those guys. Now we have a bunch of guys that's like just happy to be there. And when I said this in the chat, somebody's in our group chat, and somebody said in this chat too, it feels like a bunch of players are just happy to be there, showing up to collect a check. And that's the shit that's aggravating the most, is because you can't just put somebody to motivate that's just not motivated to be there, that just don't have it in them. And our roster is full of a bunch of players that just don't have it in them, and they got to get out of here. And we got to get some players in that have that fight in them. And I just, that's what we need to see more, is just if Vrabel can have some good players, he can develop, he can win games, but these players have to first have some pride in what the film they're putting on the field. And a lot of players we have in that locker room don't take pride in the film they're putting out there.
Man, I see a lot of things that, and I hate to even say this or whatever, because some people just say this shit and, go all on left field with it. But I see so many other teams doing stuff that, the Titans, I mean, it seems like it is fucking open heart surgery for the Titans to do. Like, I mean, scheming open wide receivers, man. I mean, look at Robert Woods yesterday, and Robert Woods did not have, a 100-yard game or anything like that. But Robert Woods was able to make plays yesterday. Why? Because the Texas coaches put him in position to make plays. They know how to scheme people open. Meanwhile, with the Titans got to rely on talent 24/7 to do shit. I mean, yes, you need talent, but at the same time, the opposing defense got talent too. So talent isn't always going to get you by. No, you need coaches that can, look at defenses and figure out, the holes in them defenses and figure out different ways to, manipulate those defenses. And, the Titans, the scheme doesn't, allow the Titans to do much of that because, excuse me, y'all. Tim Kelly, I mean, I say he's a reputable offensive coordinator, but at the same time, a lot of his routes and route concepts, they basic as fuck.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna be real, bro. I'm gonna keep saying it, dude. We need an offensive-minded head coach. I'm looking at Sean McVay. This man drafted, and I don't want to hear nothing about nobody, no receivers. This man drafted Puka in the 5th round, and look at this dude. This dude one of the best receivers in the league. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if Puka goes to another team, he's not doing this, bro. He's not doing this, bro.
Okay, sorry. But also let's push back on McVay here a little bit. All right, it's also the guy to let Jared Goff go and say he was done, and look what he's doing in Detroit now. Okay, so some guys can just develop positions, but Sean McVay can develop wide receivers. We've seen that because I mean, look, Robert Woods' best years was in LA. He ain't been shit after that. So we've seen that even though Robert Woods did some good against us Sunday, he did some good because they throw some screens. We all know, and I've been complaining about this all year. We can't cover screens. Our DBs make too many damn business decisions and sit there and dance with people rather than getting off blocks and making tackles. They ran a bunch of screens and Robert Woods gets a bunch of damn yards there. So, like, Sean McVay does develop wide receivers very well, but he had to go cherry pick, and get somebody else's QB to go barely win him a Super Bowl and still hasn't been able to get back at that point. That QB's been regressing. So every QB he's had so far starts falling apart, not getting better too.
And I'm glad you mentioned a situation as well, because you know what? they felt like they had a problem with Jared Goff and they addressed a problem. Meanwhile, in Tennessee, you sit up here and watch Ryan Tannehill throw 3 interceptions in a playoff game. And then you sit up here and you watched him, continuously, just throw the Titans out of games, hold on to the football, do this, do that, do everything, but get the Titans up over the hump, and you hold on to them in hopes that you can get that old thing back from 2019, man. And that's another thing about Mike Vrabel. He holds on too long, bro. I mean, shoot, the Rams drafted Jared Goff, what, first overall or something like that?
Number one pick.
They
but that was before
him first.
McVay got there, though, right?
We traded with the Rams to get
He
that
was
number one
with
pick.
Fisher,
wasn't he? He was with Fisher one season. I want to say, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but he was with Fisher one season. Even with that right there, he took Jared Goff, and he was able to find a way to put Jared Goff in a position to where he couldn't really just hurt the team like that. Now, granted that, they went on ahead, got away from him or whatever. They had to get rid of him because, you could only do that for so long. But, I mean, it just goes back to my point that, they recognized the problem and they got rid of the problem, while the Titans sit up here and see problems and never do anything about it until the last damn minute.
I can't stand it either. Like I said, look at the Rams as an organization. Look at ours. As soon as they figured out that they're not going to win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff, they let his ass go and they went and got Matthew Stafford. You feel me? They wasn't playing. Us, on the other hand, we watched Tannehill look trash in Kansas City. We watched him look trash against the Baltimore Ravens in 2020. Then we turn around and watch him throw 3 interceptions. Then we brought him back again, and it was like, come on, bro. Like we're an insane franchise, bro. We keep doing the same shit over and over again and expecting different results, and it's not happening. And it's time for this Amy to see it. You know what I'm saying? Over and over again. Like, we need to make some changes, bro. We have never had an offensive head coach. I don't think we have. Like, we've had Jeff Fisher, defensive minded. We've had Mike Munchak. I mean, he an offensive line coach, but he ain't no offensive genius, bro.
He's not a head coach.
Mike Maloney was an offensive minded head coach, but he was a prehistoric offensive minded head coach.
When he's
grandfather.
We haven't had an offense, and then we finally got back. Yeah, well, we tried that. We tried that with Ken Whisenhunt. We tried that with the offense, and we went Vrabel, and guess what? We started winning.
But you have to look at how Ken Whisenhunt was hired and look at who hired him. A damn doofus hired Ken Whisenhunt. A damn doofus got on one phone call with Ken Whisenhunt and was swept away. I mean, yeah, true enough. We had Ken Whisenhunt and the shit didn't work out. Thank God for Miss Amy for stepping up and taking care of that. But just because those situations went left don't mean that you just go away from it. You just give up on doing it. No, I mean, you gotta keep swinging. I think the fan base would respect the Titans even more if they just said, you know what? We going offensive minded. Even if it don't work, we gonna keep swinging until we get it right. Now, RJ, wouldn't you respect them a hell of a whole lot more if they went about it in that fashion as opposed to, how they going about it now, just hiring a guy just because they like the motherfucker?
But see,
I look at it like this. And my thing was, I was going to point out the two Houston Texans. The Houston Texans right now, they got a defensive minded head coach, but right now I feel like Bobby Slowick is the reason why they're winning right now. I do like their defense. They got a really, really good defense, but the reason they are consistently winning games is because they had their offensive coordinator. Now, when they lose him, I want to see if they're going to keep winning like they're winning. I want to see if CJ Stroud looks as great as he's been looking. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward. But I would love Bobby Slowick as a head coach. I think if we were to get him or get that, I hate to say it, but Ben Johnson, even though he wants a lot, You know what I'm saying? I would love to have him too, because I mean he has an offense up there in Detroit that looks good, you know. So
But I think though that like we kind of forgot where we come from a little bit though with Titans. Like I know like we're selling these pitches and what's really changed and all that, but like remember like when John Robinson and Mike Vrabel took over, before that, like we had all these offensive minded coaches coming in here, winning 3-4 games in 2 seasons, not doing shit. Mariota, the second overall pick, not performing, not winning no fucking games. Players in the locker room talking about how atrocious it is to play at home field because it feels like an away game. Then Vrabel and John Robinson come in. Locker room looks like ass. Let's change this around. Facilities looking like ass. Let's turn this around.
I got some breaking news for y'all, bro.
What's that?
Oh, hell.
Alabama got beat, bro, by Michigan. By Michigan, bro. By Michigan in overtime.
Y'all balls, fans happy.
Hey, it's a great day. My team won and they got beat. I love it. What a great day.
but that to that though, it's like, all right, so Vrabel and them came in, they changed training camp, they changed the locker room, they changed the facility, they started bringing they started making things that was more attractable for players to come in. Like it was hard to get players here, it was hard to get coaches here. There was no scouting. Like you walked players through and it's like, damn, we feel like this is still the 1960s, 70s damn Oilers in this bitch. How is all your shit still outdated? Meanwhile, other stadiums and teams are updating. They got these nice ass top of the line, state of the art locker rooms and training facilities. We're still dealing with high school shit. So like they've been trying to not only change like the players on the field, the coaching, they've been trying to change the facility, the community, how people look at this, not as like Tennessee and Nashville as a city, but as a franchise to change shit. And they've been working hard to do that. And I think that's why this new stadium coming is going to change a lot for players to be like, oh, I definitely want to go to Nashville. Now they got state-of-the-art stadium, the training facilities. Now we got a selling point. Now we can bring in better talent. We got D-Hop here. We got Will Levis that looks like a future QB that players will actually believe in. We have selling points now to start bringing some people in that we couldn't do back in the day. You know, D-Hop's one of the biggest free agents, if not the biggest free agents we've ever signed in Titans history. We just never did things like that. And we're starting to change that culture. That's why I think like these past 2 years, yeah, it's been rough on Vrabel, but I think we need to weather the storm a little bit, give them a chance of seeing if it's turned back around, if you get back to who you were those first 3 years we saw you. Because as soon as things got bad, it kind of felt like the fan base just turned on Vrabel after everything he's done for us these past 3 years and how he changed everything around from the laughing stock we was to the tough ass team that everybody don't look forward to playing on a week-in-to-week basis. Yeah, they might win, but it's an extra ice bath and a massage on Monday morning because it's going to be a tough, hard-fought game.
I think the people noticed the patterns, honestly, with Mike Vrabel. I honestly think people like, you know, just really picked up on the patterns. And like a lot of people say, it's been head coaches here recently that have got fired for less. I mean, let's just keep it real. I mean, you got Mike Vrabel here. He don't what's his record the last 2 seasons? 5 and 5 wins and however many losses or whatever. Whatever it is, man. Ever since he went on that 7-game losing streak last season, I mean, shit just been going left or whatever. And we done seen coaches throughout the league been, you know, fired after playoff games. We've seen coaches with, you know, winning records get fired. Hell, you can even look at the situation up in Philadelphia right now. I mean, that dude just took the Eagles to a Super Bowl with fucking Jalen Hurts as the quarterback, and turn around this season right here, they want his head because I mean, shit ain't right. I mean, they making all kinds of silly coaching decisions, bro, and I just feel like just because Mike Vrabel came in here and took the Titans to a AFC championship game when they was dead in the water or whatever, just because we got a 1 season and all and won the division back to back and all this old foolishness, just because we did that don't mean that we shouldn't be calling for Mike Vrabel's head. Yes, you should be calling for Mike Vrabel's head because This is a performance-based business, and this man is not producing regardless of the roster that he has. And this defensive roster, like I've said, I'm not buying the personnel problem on this defense. I'm really not buying it. I'm buying it with the secondary most definitely, but you can't sit up here and tell me you got a real legit personnel problem with probably two Pro Bowlers this season in Harold Landry and Danico Autry. You can't tell me you got a personnel problem up front with Jeffrey Simmons. You can't tell me you got a personnel problem with Arden Key, a respectable pass rusher in the league. Now, you know the deal, we get it. That's Mike Vrabel's honorary son. He loves him to death. And I don't think much of him at all. But Azeez Al-Shaair, he's a respectable linebacker, bro. I mean, I'm just sick. McQuarrie, you can even look at the secondary. McQuarrie and Sean Murphy-Bunting. I mean, yeah, they make mistakes, but at the same time, they are not bad players at all. You can win with them type of players if you put a dog amongst them. That's why I say I'm not buying this personnel problem with the defense, bro. That's on Mike Vrabel and that's on Bowen.
Bro, we got okay. Al-Shaair is good, but this is the first year we brought him in. So he's just coming and he is making up leading the team in tackles. So he is doing good there. We gotta change that. That's been what you said right there has been one of my biggest things with the defense is there's too much talent on this D line. That's the most talent on this entire team is our D line. That's the one group that's solidified that should be doing shit. That's why I'm like Shane Bowen needs to go. I agree with you on that 100% because that personnel at least should be caught. TJ Watt is over there doing it by himself on the damn Steelers. We don't have a TJ Watt, but damn it, we got a good 4 or 5 front linemen that should at least be able to do what one player is doing, and they don't. But Sean Murphy-Bunting is a good, but he's a number 2. He's not a number 1. We got him playing out of position. That's why he looks bad in certain situations because he is playing out of position. He's playing above a skill level that he's really just not that. He's a good number 2. And McCreary's a good slot. Yeah, he's good. He's talented. But the problem with McCreary is a lot of times his stature is just not there. He's just his wingspan. He's there, but his wingspan is always a fingertip away from making a play. And that's just is what it is. He's a good player. I love McCreary. I want him to stick around too. But outside of that, bro, how many times do we come in here on this podcast week in and week out? Or do we come into the group chat and I'm done with Christian Fulton. I'm done with such and such. I'm done with because these players are bad. If you know we're done with them, like we got to get them out. We just got to get better players. We finally have the cap space to do this. Now let's do it. If y'all don't go do it now with the cap space we got, then it's negligence. It's y'all. This is your philosophy. These are the people you want because before you didn't have the money. Now you got the money. You better make a damn change because the change needs to happen. And if you're not going to make the change, then yeah, we're going to get Vrabel gone and we're going to make sure this change happens. But I expect Rand to blow this shit up this offseason. Coaches and players, I expect a lot of fucking turnaround.
And let me just throw this up out here real quick, man. The Titans, for whatever the hell is worth.
AJ just happy over there.
The Titans, hey, man, we're gonna let RJ take it all in right now. But the Titans are the only team in the league with 2 guys with double-digit sacks, and of course, everybody know. I mean, Henry, he got his 1,000 yards. D-Hop, he got his 1,000 yards as well, and also too, the Titans are still one of the top red zone defenses. I mean, that right there definitely tells me I'm not buying no personnel problems on defense, bro. It's a real coaching issue. That only proves that they're up there. They're playing bend but don't break. And Shane Bowen, I really don't believe that he should even be a defensive coordinator. Maybe he can coach. I mean, he can be some kind of, you know what I'm saying, assistant to or whatever, some kind of, you know, red zone defensive specialist or whatever. But DC, him and Vrabel, hell no. They ain't got no, they don't have no business even, you know, doing anything with coordinating the defense. Like, think about it like this right here. Vrabel had the Texans defense ranked dead last when he was their coordinator. Then, he's got this thing to where, he wants to develop coaches. Then he goes and gets Shane Bowen. Now, how the hell can somebody that don't even know how to do the damn job develop somebody that's new to the job? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Bro, to me, and you can push back on this because this is just theory on this, but with the red zone defense coverage, why we're so good in the red zone for defense, on my point is, bro, what's our biggest weakness on our defense is the passing taking the top off on us. Well, if you shrink the field and you take the top away, and all we got to do now, which is what our slow and bad talented DBs do at times. That's why we can't play man coverage, because they're slow. If you took it all the top and everything's in front of them now, you just took their biggest worry away and the biggest weakness away. So it's a little bit easier for them. Now, red zone defense is still a hard defense. I'm not taking away that, but we usually don't get beat on stopping the shorter plays other than third downs. Our big scores, we let big plays happen, and players or teams come out here and take the top off of us on a defense and throw deep and make big explosive plays. We shrink that field up, and then it's like, oh yeah, I can keep this in front of me, but it's like they just can't stop from letting things get behind them.
Yeah, man.
I think it's a little bit. I think it's both, man. I think it's coaching and personnel, like that guy who just posted that comment. I think it's coaching and personnel, man. There's a lot of stuff that the coaches are making mistakes on, man, and I just don't feel like they're elevating some of these players, man. Like that, like I said, I look over at the Rams. I just don't think the Rams are just way more talented than the Tennessee Titans. They running back.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But they're in the playoffs.
Predicted the Rams to be one of the worst teams this year, bro.
Do you remember that? That's what I'm saying. They didn't have Cooper Kupp for damn near the whole season
this year. But here they go going into the last week of the the season. They sitting right here looking at the playoffs, bro. And you mean to sit up and
tell me that the Oakland Raiders who fired their
doing all that? No.
Look at the Raiders, bro. The Raiders. Come on, bro. They fired their coach mid-season, bro, and now they damn near fighting to get to the playoffs. Like, you cannot tell me, bro. You cannot tell me it ain't. It's just the players just so bad. Like, no, man. Like, it's this coaching too, man. And now I do agree. The offensive line is the one thing that if they do want to compete, they're gonna have to fix that. But at the same time, bro, like these coaches, bro. We was watching that game, bro. It was so many just dumb mistakes that we was making. You cannot tell me that with that block, whenever they went to go punt the ball, he just ran right into the punter. Like that's simple fundamental stuff, bro. Like that's fundamental stuff. You got that. You got the Traylon Burks dropping wide open catches. Like, bro, like, do you not practice your catching? Like, it's like these boys don't want to win, bro. Like, and it's crazy to me, man. It's crazy. It's crazy seeing some of this stuff. And Will Levis got to pay for it because some people just not coming to play, and he get hurt because of this stuff. You know,
bro,
he's pissed off about it too. You saw it yesterday. Whenever he got hurt, I mean, sure, he went to that sideline. He was pissed,
bro. And you saw how Ryan Tannehill described sitting behind this offensive line, didn't you?
Yeah.
I feel like John Wick back here. He's getting hit so much,
but he ain't been nowhere close to freaking John Wick, man. I mean, I don't understand Tannehill with this shit, man. I mean, John Wick, god dang it, John Wick 1 through 3, he did some awesome shit. He did some awesome shit all through those John Wick movies. But at the end, he just died. I get where Tannehill's coming from, but what the hell great has Tannehill done here? But throw us up out of games and shit.
That wasn't the point, but I am with you on that. You shouldn't have used somebody with such greatness attached to them on top of you. You should have used the what is it, the Progressive commercial with the stunt double do, or is it Progressive or whatever, for Save Yourself for Mayhem Like Me? He should have used that guy. Maybe you feel like that guy at the end of the game, but not John Wick. But yeah, bro, no, it's just so bad.
Him, though. I really do, and it's really unfortunate as hell because we sit here, we've been talking about the Rams throughout the night. I don't think much at all about Matt fucking Stafford. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it funky. Anybody who, you know what I'm saying, they know me and talk to me over a period of time or whatever, you know how I feel about Matt Stafford. That motherfucker right there, god dang it, consistently throws you up out of the game. Like he was going to throw the Rams up out of the Super Bowl. I mean, he was that close to throwing them up out of a Super Bowl. So
Thank
I
God
don't
Aaron
think
Donald.
much about Matt Stafford. The only thing Matt Stafford really has over Tannehill is he's still confident in his arm, and he still has an arm. Matt
He has a
Stafford
rocket
got
arm.
crazy. He's got crazy arm talent, and that's really what's getting him by right now, man. But you know, Tannehill, bro. I mean, shoot, man. I feel for him. The old man may need to go ahead and retire.
Might need to, bro, because Stafford at least got a rocket on his arm. Now, I wouldn't take Stafford over Tannehill any day of the week because I still believe that Stafford turns the ball over way more than Tannehill. And if I had to pick between them two, I'm taking Tannehill over that. But yeah, Stafford has a way stronger arm than Tannehill, bro. You see that even on Sunday. You see those Tannehill balls just seem like they're in the air forever, bro. There's no power. It just looks like it's just asking and waiting for a DB to come pick that shit off, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up for the night, man. Had Texas Washington game started yet? I'm pretty sure it has.
Nah, I think it's about to get started right now. So,
shoot, we right on time then,
yeah,
man.
Get to watch some more good football,
man. Hell yeah. I mean, I love this time.
I can't wait for this national championship. It's gonna be teams that I don't even care about.
RJ's New Year's starting off right.
Yes, sir. I ain't got to hear that Bama garbage, man. Oh my.
Man, I'm just ready. I'm just ready to end this shit with the Titans, man. Go ahead and get to March, man. Just after Sunday, man, somebody just got dang it knocked me the fuck out and got dang it send me to March, man. I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready to fix this daggone roster. I'm ready. Hopefully we find some damn coaches. Now, we sit up here and talk about this Mike Vrabel stuff or whatever, but in all honesty, Mike Vrabel probably isn't getting fired this season, but I at least want to see a change in defensive coordinator. I want to see a change in offensive line coach and any other coach that they feel that they're not getting enough out of the players from, man. Make these
strength and
changes,
conditioning.
Man. Yeah,
strength and conditioning coach.
The Fed got that all over the strength and conditioning coach.
Okay. Bro, there has to be so many coaches just get out of here. Like Rand comes in, this is the perfect opportunity. Let's go pull some people from this Kyle Shanahan tree that is in some position coaches that may possibly, like RJ said, may possibly lead to offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators later on. Let's get some guys that's already got their nuggets. Let's go find those early on Mike McDaniels and those Kyle Shanahans. Because let's not forget though, even though we know that tree is working and San Francisco's doing good. When they was all on the same coaching staff in Washington, that team was atrocious. And then they started to learn, they matured a little bit better, and then they started understanding the football and how to break things down. So let's go ahead and find those guys. Let's go find some guys that's in those earlier stages, bring them over here at position coach, let them elevate up, and then maybe get into coordinator positions and maybe head coaches positions in the future. But we got to use Rand to help bring in some coaches this next season. That's something I'm adamant on.
Firestone, I'm gonna do you a solid tonight, bro. This show right here, and let me take the comment down. I appreciate the comment, but I got to take it down so that we can do our thing. Yes, sir. This show right here has been brought to you by Lions Beard Den. Lions D. God dang, Firestone, you threw me off, bro.
That's funny.
This show has been brought to you by LionsDenBeardCollection.com, man. Go ahead up over there, look at all the great beard products they got, man. They got lip gloss for the ladies. They got the whole nine for the guys with beards up out there, man. Go up over there, check them out, shop with them. Get you, use the promo code Colosseum, man, and get you 25% off. And when you get done ordering your beard stuff and your lip gloss for your ladies, go ahead over here to Titans Coliseum.com and read some of these file articles that we coming out with, man. I mean, shoot, even though the Titans ain't cooking, we gonna be cooking on here, man. We're gonna be pumping out articles throughout the off season, man.
Draft process.
Draft process. I got some things that I've written down that I'm gonna be writing on starting very, very soon. Probably starting next week sometime, since the Titan season is going to officially be over. I feel like I can go ahead and knock this thing on out. But yeah, man, y'all go up over there at TitanColiseum.com, man. Subscribe to their emailing list for future giveaways, man. 5-star RJ, y'all got anything y'all want to say before we ride out?
Man, thank you for everybody that came in here, man. We had a lot of viewers today, man. A lot of viewers today, man. I was just proud to even be on here, man. For what we have built, you know what I'm saying, over these past couple of months, man. It felt good to see over 70 plus people in here, man. It just keeps showing up, man. Mondays and Fridays, man. We are in here. We come here. We come to speak the truth, man. We ain't come here bringing no sunshine pumping, none of that. We are coming to tell, because we love this team just as much as y'all do. Yeah, me and Marako and Nashville, you know how much we love. He an Oilers fan. He been with the franchise since they was the Oilers. So that lets you know how much we love this damn team. So yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to bring up this super chat as well for Sportacular, sending in a super chat for $4.99. Man, we truly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you as well. They asked, do you think Vrabel inherited this roster? I say no, for me at least, because when him and J-Rob took over, it was clear that they started making changes and putting their thumbprints on it real quick. They started making changes. They was bringing in D'Amico Murray. They brought in the Ryan Tannehill. They was bringing in the Ben Jones. They was changing this roster. They drafted the Kevin Byers, the Derrick Henrys. Well, not Vrabel, but J-Rob didn't. Yeah, J-Rob got the Derrick Henry. So I feel like they definitely put their thumbprint on this moving forward. But my piece is, man, thank y'all. Yeah, like RJ said, we're here live Monday and Fridays at 7 p.m. Every Monday and Friday. Sometimes we do some odd shows when breaking news comes up. So thank y'all. Make sure y'all tune in on that. A lot of y'all come in afterwards that were live and come watch the video. So we're thankful for that. So y'all let us know in the comments too who y'all think we should be doing, who's the fault. Y'all let us know in the comments as well. So we just truly appreciate y'all. And man, I'm ready to see what this offseason is going to be, man. It's kind of exciting knowing we have all these draft picks and all this money, man. I'm kind of ready to see who's getting fired first,
Facts, man. I appreciate everybody watching, everybody who support us, man. I appreciate y'all so freaking much. I cannot even begin to put it into words, man. It seems like, on the regular, man, somebody hitting me up, whether, it's at a game or, hitting my DM or just, out there on the Twitter streets, Facebook streets, wherever. They just, telling me, man, I like what y'all doing with that podcast, man. Y'all on there speaking real, man. Y'all ain't holding back. Y'all ain't sugarcoating it. And that's what we here for, man. I mean, we here to, just tell it how it is, tell it how we see it. I mean, we're not on here, we're not claiming to be professionals at this by any means or whatever. We just here to give it to y'all in a way that y'all can relate, because we are y'all. We all together in this thing. We all Titan fans in this thing, man. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot, all the analytical stuff. I mean, all that stuff is fine. I respect the people who do that stuff. But at the same time, I don't want to hear that shit sometimes. I want to just hear it straight up what it is. God dang it. Motherfucker suck, god dang it, suck. If a motherfucker balling, you're balling. I mean, I just want to hear it straight out, man. But hey, y'all, I really appreciate y'all. Y'all have a very blessed New Year's. I hope you get everything you want out of life. Hey, toss me them keys. We riding out. Tighten the fuck up. Let's go.